Shove it, man!
Shove it, squad. What better way is there to start your week than getting an additional jab to the jaw? It's time to continue the mini-series of reviewing World Wrestling Allstars. And you thought the last show sucked Sonny Siaki's ass? Wait till you see the retribution. Looking at the list of matches I'm going to have to sit through, I can't say I feel too excited about this one. Andrew McManus is with Beyond Boring Mike Sanders in the back. He says the last two commissioners have been Bret Hart and Sid Vicious, and the newest will be Sanders. Definite decline here, it feels. So if you can't tell, this pay-per-view comes from Glasgow, Scotland. 3,000 fans in attendance here. Who's ready for a segment? Because I just love segments. It's time for yet another Taz factoid.
I got a factoid for both you guys. I got a boil on my ass.
Scotland is a country that is attached to England, but they pretty much hate the English. It's also the home of wrestling bios. Anyway, back to the show, which starts off with bad news. They're in trouble yet again because Scott Steiner has been signed by the WWE, so that's another belt they've had to vacate. Jeremy Borash announces that once again Disco Inferno will be his commentary partner. That's fine, I was wondering how they'd downgrade from Disco Inferno. I was starting to worry. The opening match is Sharkboy versus Frankie Kazarian. This is before Frankie has made any appearances with TNA. Sharky sends him out the ring and dives down on top of him. Sharky bites both Kazarian and the referee on the ass. Kaz gets bored of waiting and kicks Sharky in the face. Kaz also hits an overhead suplex. Sharky later tries a kick, but his leg is caught and Frankie sweeps the free leg out and he runs and springs off the ropes with a leg drop. He misses his top rope leg drop, which allows Sharky to wake up. He hits a Frankensteiner for a 2. It's pretty even here as Kazarian hits a pump kick. Then he gets a 2 count off an electric chair drop with a bridge. It's not enough and moments later Sharkboy wins with a deep sea drop. Beyond Boring Mike Sanders gets an entrance now. Somehow he looks even older than in my weekly TNA videos, but this is before that, so how does that work? He talks about what a great show we're going to have tonight. Some music starts playing, then you can hear JB muttering on commentary. Sanders' promo is interrupted by Joe E. Legend. He calls him a Backstreet Boy. Legend is upset because Sanders hasn't mentioned how great Joey Legend is. I legit don't think he knows who he is. He says heroes come and heroes go, but legends live forever. Sanders starts fake crying and challenges him to a match. Legend keeps saying no, no, no.
I'm Joey Legend. I beat the Stinger. I beat Lex Luger. I slept with the Disco Inferno.
No. Looking like you cut your hair with a knife and fork.
Sanders' haircuts are terrible, he's got a point. Sanders does a standard pocket flip-off. Not seen anyone do that in about 10 years. He makes the match for tonight and threatens to whoop ass like Braveheart. So we've got that exciting match to look forward to. A nerd called Nate Spiderweb is here. Wait, he starts getting beaten up in the darkness, then the camera pans out and it's revealed to be Perry Saturn. He completely destroys Nate Webb and the referee. But the scheduled match continues, and here is Conad. Conad makes his way out and pins Webb straight away and the ref counts it like a dick. Conad then joins the commentary team. What was the point in that? In the back, Madeja is pretending she knows how to read. The midget Tio gives her flowers and asks to be a ring valet for tonight. The psycho midget is also here and he says that she's his hoe. Sanders walks in and says they all need to behave themselves or I send them back to the chocolate factory. Sanders makes her a special referee for their match. Out now, it's Buff Bagwell and Johnny Swinger. It's funny how literally every company other than WCW have booked Bagwell to be a jobber. They face Norman Smiley, who has jumped before his partner can be revealed. It's then revealed to be Malice from the Disciples of the New Church in TNA. What's interesting is this guy would be used as a main eventer for much of the remainder of WWA. So it's a bit like his time in TNA. Too short. Conad keeps talking, but his mic isn't switched on. Malice keeps copying the Buff Bagwell dance. It's weird to see him acting so wacky. Malice gives him a spine buster and a massive back breaker. Bagwell manages a jawbreaker and tags out. It doesn't go much better for Swinger. Smiley gets the tag and he hits a nice power move on Swinger. Swinger and Bagwell eventually isolate Norman Smiley. After a very long time and a couple of small package attempts, we get a double clothesline and Smiley has the chance to tag out. Malice gets the tag and he clears the ring. Unfortunately, Smiley gets distracted doing the big wiggle. He gets booted in the slash zone and Bagwell hits him with a blockbuster. That's enough to end this match. In the back, a wild Slapnuts appears.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
He has the NWA title with him. He's complaining about the 15-hour flight to Glasgow, Scotland. He says tonight he'll slap Nathan Jones nuts. Madeja makes her way out now to referee the midget match. Puppet, the Psycho Dwarf, now has a cape. He of course takes on Tio. You know, I wonder how many years these two feuded for. Puppet gets a 2 with a bulldog. Tio does a head scissors in return as the crowd go nuts for him. He does the hesitation headbutt to the nutsack. Crowd also loved that one. Then he fucks up as he tries to do a 619, but his little leg gets stuck on the ropes. He misses his springboard and he's crushed with a TKO. It doesn't go much longer as Tio hits a dropkick and a swanton bomb for the 3. The worst of their match series. Perry Saturn's out now again to beat up the midgets. He doesn't beat up Madeja. Now he's got a microphone and says he's just signed a WWA contract. He'll spend time tonight kicking asses and taking names. Then he changes that to making a name and taking some ass as he grabs Madeja. She didn't like it and she slaps him. He teases a powerbomb on her but instead he kisses her. Saturn drags her to the back and she seems to just go with him. Joe E. Legend is out now for his match with Beyond Boring Mike Sanders. It's always weird to see Sanders playing the good guy. He does a leap into the ring and hits a head scissors at the same time. He also hits a Japanese arm drag. I always find myself being pleasantly surprised by Sanders in ring abilities. Hopefully that'll be one of these matches. Legend throws Sanders with a nice suplex. He also does the kip up clothesline spot, which is alright. Legend looks like he's won it with an enziguri, but that's not enough. This one is lacking the energy of that promo segment. I thought we were going to get something really entertaining here. Disco spends time making fun of the Just Joe gimmick in the WWE. Just Joe hits a sit-out powerbomb, but when Sanders kicks out at 2, he shouts, "No, no, no." This causes the crowd to start shouting, "Yes, yes, yes." The origins of the Daniel Bryan chant right here.
100%.
No!
Sanders takes a turn getting several 2 counts. Just Joe knocks him away and does a Superman pin for a 2. Both these guys have some pretty unique offense. It's refreshing to see some of this new stuff. It ends when Legend misses a moonsault and he's smashed with a super kick. Beyond Boring Mike Sanders, everyone. He has a microphone and he says he's going to put Perry Saturn in a hardcore match tonight. In the back, Scott D'Amore looks like a giant adult baby is with Lex Luger. Lex is talking about the Icon Sting. He says they're friends but they'll fight for the heavyweight title tonight. He also says tonight instead of showtime, it'll be total package time. Don't think that one's ever going to catch on. Saturn is now dragging Madeja around backstage. She asks for help, but Scott D'Amore just stands there looking like a confused obese slug. Strangely, the next match is Jeff Jarrett defending the NWA heavyweight title, because of course Jeff Jarrett is the NWA champion at this point. He always is. He will take on the front row Nathan Jones. Let's see if Jarrett can pull a half decent match out of him like Steiner did. Jones is getting booed in this one because we aren't in Oz anymore. He hits a big side slam on Jeff. Slappy has to fight off a choke slam. Jones is really dominating with a big spinning side slam. Then he takes Jarrett out to the floor. Jarrett tries every trick in the book to get the advantage. What works is Jeff Jarrett making Nathan Jones fall in his nutsack. Jeff of course gets a steel chair, but he can't throw Jones into it. He gives Slappy a Samoan drop. You know, I hate it when some wrestlers use the Samoan drop. It should just be saved for Samoans and fat guys, and Jones is neither. The next move looks dangerous. Jones hits a gut-wrench throw with Jarrett almost hitting the ropes. He looked completely out of control with that one. He delivers a big boot and then calls for a choke slam. Jarrett pulls the referee into his hand. For some reason, this completely distracts Jones. Jarrett gets the guitar and smashes it over Nathan Jones, and that's a 3. It just wasn't good. There's no need to say more. It just wasn't good. Simon Diamond is in the next match. He cuts a promo about being annoyed at being put in a hardcore triple threat. The other competitors are Sabu and of course Perry Saturn with Madeja. The crowd chant ECW due to all 3 guys' shared history. They don't like Diamond, so they team up against him. He hides on the outside of the ring and lets the other 2 get on with it. Something I haven't seen before in this match is both Sabu and Saturn try springboards, but they crash into each other. Diamond tries to pin them, but it doesn't work and he runs away. Sabu and Saturn both trade hip tosses until Sabu is thrown out the ring. Diamond sneaks back in and gets some 2 counts on Saturn. Now we get a triple headlock spot from Sabu's early days in ECW. The other 2 guys are not the same 2 guys who are involved in the original spot, but the crowd chant ECW anyway, they remember it. Sabu takes them both out with drop kicks before Saturn charges into the ring with an aggressive spear. Sabu runs straight back at him and just punches him in the jaw. He also hits a springboard ass to the face. He follows it with the Acai moonsault, but Diamond is here to break up the pin. Sabu takes out Diamond with a springboard DDT. Saturn suddenly remembers it's a hardcore match. He tries to get a chair, which Sabu takes from him. Sabu dives off the chair to the outside for senton. This match is starting to go down the brutal path as Sabu throws a chair into Saturn's face. The springboard leg drop gets him another 2 on Diamond before Saturn super kicks him. Saturn does a chair guillotine on Sabu. Now I've not seen that since the SmackDown PS2 games. Perry Saturn throws Sabu with a big T-bone. He also hits an almost brainbuster. Both these guys are busted open now. Later on, Diamond has a submission on. Saturn just says screw it and does a springboard knee drop on the 2 guys. It looks like it hurt like hell. Poor Sabu, he gets double submissions now from the other two guys, but he doesn't tap. Diamond tries to suplex Sabu for a table on the outside, but he's smashed in the gut of a Saturn chair shot. Perry looks like he's going to win this one. He gives Sabu a springboard leg drop. He then hits a nice spine buster, but Diamond saves the pin. Sutton throws Diamond with a massive suplex. Sabu decides to calm him down by launching a chair at his face. He also smacks Simon. Sabu hits the Arabian facebuster on both guys. He doesn't make the pin though, as he wants to put Saturn through the table. He gets distracted for a bit and he gives Diamond a Frankensteiner. Saturn gets off the table and hits the top rope elbow drop into the ring on Diamond. The crowd are really into this one. Sabu wants to do his triple jump moonsault, but he's kicked by Saturn at the worst possible time. He manages to kick out the pin somehow. Saturn does a springboard kick to Diamond now. On the outside, Saturn is now suplexing Diamond through the table. He sets up another one. Sabu quickly dives to the outside, putting Diamond through the table. Oh no, the midgets are back. They hit Saturn with kendo sticks. I guess the story here is that they're standing up for Madeja. She stops them, so she likes Saturn, I guess? Who knows? Doesn't make any sense. Sabu uses the distractions to hit a Sandman Russian leg sweep with the cane, but moments later Saturn hits the Death Valley driver. It's still not over. The midgets and Madeja are back in the ring. They strip her for some reason. Saturn then makes the strange decision to cover her up and take her away. That literally makes no sense. I thought he was being booked like a badass. Why would he take time out of this match to worry about her? Diamond almost wins with an inverted DDT while Saturn's away. Diamond tries to kill Sabu with a dive, but he takes a chair to the face. Quickly, Sabu hits the triple jump moonsault to Diamond's legs, and that's a 3. A great match with a terrible ending. It's a shame we couldn't have had Crowbar instead of Simon Diamond. Not a knock on him, but it would have just made more sense. So Saturn lost the match he was dominating because he was distracted, taking a girl to the back that got stripped by midgets that he probably only met for the first time that night. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Someone smacked these writers with a brick. Were these Madeja segments all written by separate writers? In the back, Scott D'Amore is with the Icon Sting. He sounds pretty excited to be here. He talks about how he spent time out of wrestling being a husband and a dad. He accuses Lex Luger of having no character. That match will be now for the once again vacant WWA Heavyweight title. It's Lex Luger, who must have been spending the last 18 months doing nothing but lifting weights, versus the Icon Sting. This is literally both guys' first match since WCW went under. But I ain't talking down under. Reportedly, Luger has spent most of the tour refusing to wrestle, and when he does, it has to be 5 minutes or less. So two guys who haven't wrestled in 18 months, and one who doesn't want to wrestle at all. It's not looking good for this match being good. This is also Lex Luger's second to last ever match, the final coming in TNA. I made an entire video about that whole turd pile over on Patreon. Despite the pre-match comments, both guys seem to be good friends. It's kind of funny how things turned out for Lex. He seems to have this reputation nowadays of being terrible and lazy. Well, he actually had the second most matches on Nitro, only behind Booker T, so it's weird how he suddenly seems to hate wrestling. Anyway, Sting hits a dropkick and Luger bails. That's probably the most exciting part of the match, I know it's going to be. Luger's roid gut looks like he's getting out of control. Luger charges back into the ring, but his legs are taken out of a low dropkick. Luger bails again. He has a mic and he starts accusing Sting of being a cheater. He also calls it Glasgow, England, which makes the Scottish fans dump all over him. Disco hands Sting a mic. What the fuck is this? Is it a main event or a promo segment? Sting sounds up for the Scottish fans. Luger's confused by the term Glasgow kiss. For those of you who don't know, it's a headbutt to the back of the head. And a Bridgewater Bay kiss is a headbutt to a brick. Sting starts fighting again, but he misses the splash on the outside of the ring. They come back into the ring where Sting tries a frog splash, but Luger gets his knees up. Lex also smacks him in the slash zone right in front of the referee. Later on there's a collision in the ring and Sting falls headfirst into Luger's nutsack, so I guess they're one apiece now. This match is boring, I just want it to end. There's a ref bump and now Jeff Jarrett's here. He smacks Sting with a guitar. He pushes Lex onto Sting, but he kicks out the pin. Then there's another ref bump. Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop, but the ref's out. Jarrett hits Sting with another guitar. The ref wakes up and he counts to 3. Jesus fucking Christ, that was bad. Why would they even want Lex Luger as the champion after all the trouble he's caused on the tour? What a shocker of a show, and it only went for 1 hour and 45 minutes. What kind of pay-per-view is that? Luger would lose the title on a house show on the next night to Steve Borden, so it begs the question, what the hawk were they thinking? So the Eruption turned out to actually be an okay pay-per-view, but the Retribution could shove it. Just one pay-per-view left on this miniseries called The Reckoning. Let me know if you want me to wrap this series up anytime soon, and if you don't, I'll beat your ass with a broom.